project management video number 3 is about clarity. And clarity is something I work with clients on all the time. And when you start a new project or have a new idea, there's often a lack of clarity. You have an idea, a concept, and we have to kind of dig out the details. And clarity is something that business owners, because they're out working so hard in their stuff, it happens all the time. Here's a story, right? So I sit down as a client and I say, okay, so that's a nice idea. It's a good project. What's your vision? And I say, I want to make some more money. I say, well, how much money? Will $1 do? If you want $1, I can give you $1 now and we can call it done. The point is that they really don't have an understanding of what it is they're trying to achieve, and that clarity is what's really important, right? A lack of clarity, crazy. Uncertainty, frustration, pain. It's really not very much fun. So remember, this is a workshop, and I want you to write down your action items at the end of this. You're going to fill out your scorecard. You'll learn about that in the video. Write down your action items. All right. Here's the first key attribute, clearly defining the problem and the result. If we get this right, then all of the rest of the project gets a lot easier. The opportunity for success is drastically improved. We do this simply by asking ourselves the questions. Why do we need to do this? What is it specifically that we need to do? Who has to do it? When does it have to be done? Where does it get done? How does it get done? And maybe even the one that we all focus on very quickly is how much, right? But if you haven't answered those other questions, then how much is not necessarily going to be very accurate, right? And we want to do this, and we do this through SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bounded, right? We're going to talk about that on the next slide. By making your goals SMART, you increase your chance of attaining them by 1,000%. So the foundation is specific. Success coach Jack Canfield states in his book, The Success Principles, that vague goals produce vague results. In order for you to achieve a goal, you must be very clear about what exactly you want. Now, a lot of times we'll create a list of benefits because that's kind of why we're doing the project, right? And what are those benefits and what are they going to bring to our life? And we focus on those benefits because that clarity gives our mind a compelling reason to pursue the goal. We need to understand what those benefits are and focus on those. But we also have to have measurable characteristics, right? It's crucial for goal achievement that you can track your progress towards your goal. That's why all goals need some form of objective measuring system. You need to be able to stay on track. You need to know when you're getting close. There's some excitement that comes along as you get close to finishing your goal. But if you should slip off a little bit, you need to be able to take advantage of it and fix it, right? Now, the other thing is you have to be aligned with your values. So if you achieve a goal by compromising your values, a lot of times the end result is some stress rather than joy. So if your goal is to earn $250,000 or something of that sort, and one of your core values is to serve the highest good of others, and you reach your goal by selling narcotics or something silly like that, you may have reached your goal, but your inner peace, you're not going to feel good about that. As a result, you're not going to be happy, and it's going to be really hard to sustain it. So it has to be aligned with your core values. And today, we have lots of different core values, whether it's, green or energy conservation. Those things have to fit into who you are. The other thing is you have to take a look at relevancy, right? Before you even set the goals, it's a good idea to sit down and if you understand your core values and your life purpose and what you're trying to get accomplished and what your business is really trying to get accomplished, then you can use those tools to ultimately decide how and what goals you choose for your life and for your business. In and of themselves, goals don't provide any happiness. Goals that are in harmony, goals that accomplish what we want with the way that we want to live, the way that we want our business to perform, those are the things that make us happy. And ultimately, they have to be time-bounded, right? Without setting deadlines for your goals, you have no real compelling reason or motivation to start working on them. Deadlines, they're the motivator, right? There is a motivator. By setting a deadline, your subconscious mind begins to work on that goal night and day. And that really is a key component. Whether it's a deadline for something to be done today or tomorrow or the next day, setting a deadline, time-bounding your goal, key component for SMART goals. Now that we discussed SMART goals, let's talk about a few other methods to help your goal-setting efforts be even more successful. So first, you want to write each goal in the first person. If you're the business owner, if you're the responsible person, if you're the person who wants the achievement, use the letter I. Second, you're going to write each goal in the present tense. It's as you've actually achieved it, right? You've already achieved it. I earn, I weigh, I have, those kinds of things. Then you're going to write each goal as a positive statement. And sometimes it's a little challenging because some people will say, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. Or, I want to lose something. Or your idea here is to say, hey, listen, can I go with, I want to weigh some new number instead of using a number or a statement that includes the words lose. And then write each goal using an active verb. I am, I earn, I weigh, I have, I've created, any one of those, right? This is how you're going to write those goals, right? And then clearly be sure they are SMART goals. And goal setting follows the great law. The great summary statement of all religions, all philosophies, metaphysics, psychology, and success is this: you become what you think about most of the time. Establishing and writing your goals down daily, and that's what we recommend, continues to focus your mind on the most important things in your life and your business, obviously very important. Thousands of successful people were asked what they think about most of the time, and the answer is constant. They think about what they want and how to get it. In contrast, unsuccessful people think about what they don't want, and what they fear most of the time. So the recommendation here is for you to write at least 10 goals each day. It could be business goals, it could be life goals, but we want you to be focusing in on those things that you want. And then you can use the project management process to build a plan and execute your plan to achieve your goal. All right, the main takeaway concept from this session, or from this project management series of videos, is to go back to this slide briefly after each discussion and have somebody complete where do you stand. So in this particular case, in the area of clearly defining a problem and a result, how would you grade yourself today, right? You graded yourself originally based on what you thought clarity was, and now you've learned some things, and now you can say, oh, our grade is really like this. And if you've answered the who, what, where, when, why, how, and how much questions effectively, then you've got a lot of things that you can do there. If you've written your goals down effectively, then you can give yourself a pretty high mark here. If you haven't done that, then you're going to give yourself a low mark, and you can say, these are the things that I need to do to get to an A+. And in addition to this, there is a project charter format that we have on the Facebook portal, and there are 4 different charters depending on the complexity of a project, and you can go there and download those and use those to help you define your problem, because it has all of the questions listed in it. You just have to complete all the questions depending on the complexity of the project. So that might be a really useful tool. So write down what you need to do to get an A for clarity. All right, so now you've watched the clarity video and you understand the 7 questions, right? Who, what, when, where, why, how, and the all-important how much. Because in business, how much is really an important component, right? So chances are you're missing a couple things there, and in order for you to get an A on the scorecard, you got to do a couple things. Those are your action items. Write them down.